Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside Lines Podcast, where we celebrate incredible women in and around sports. I'm your host, Atoya Burleson, and let's dive into the latest Thanksgiving/post-Thanksgiving happenings this past week and what I'm looking forward to in the last chapter 12 of 2025. Okay. So let's get right into it and talk about Thanksgiving and the reflections there and just the recap of my Thanksgiving holiday, which was incredible. Thanksgiving for me has always been a staple. Let me just start there. I remember cooking in the kitchen sometimes, but mostly watching my mother cook. And I learned so much in watching her cook and how to cook and really the joy that it brought to everyone. I also remember my first time cooking on my own, which was in college. And I remember it because I had my teammates over and I was so nervous and had to channel in and remember all the things that I learned from my mother. And I'm talking not just about the soul food, because the soul food is obviously important, but also just the ambiance and the presentation. I just really wanted it to feel special for everyone. And after I did that, it really prepared me for life. I remember everyone thought that everything was so great, and I was so happy to put a smile on everyone's face. And when I say it prepared me for life, because after that year, I remember life would never be the same. I wouldn't be in college anymore. And Nate and I left from college and moved to Minnesota, where he was drafted by the Vikings. And we had 3 years there in Minnesota. Then we went to Seattle for 4 years and also Detroit for 4 years. So college started my cooking. I guess the first time I cooked, it started, really setting me up for what was to be expected, which I did not know, which was cooking in the league for 11 years and inviting over his teammates, having everyone over, even my family flying out for some Thanksgivings and having them over. And sometimes having, my mom in the kitchen cooking with me. But Thanksgiving for me is about food, it's about family, and of course it's about football. And there's nothing better than that for me. This year did not disappoint. When I fast forward to this from college to playing in the league to this year was really special. It hit different for me because my mother decided to go to Reno to help my brother cook, which is in Reno, Nevada. And I was excited about that because the last time my boys went and ate over there was not so good. So my mom, she's like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to cook. And I was like, you know what, Mom, I'm going to come up with you and I'm going to cook with you. And gosh, I'm so glad that I did for many reasons. For one, just having that opportunity to spend time with my brother and his family, with my mother, my father, my sister, my nieces, and my nephew. That was really special. But also I could hang out with my boys for Thanksgiving, and they could eat and hang out with us as well. And then it was also special because it was my mom's 70th birthday, y'all. Not on Thanksgiving, but that Saturday after Thanksgiving was her 70th birthday. So when I committed to coming up there, I said to myself, you know what? I need to figure out how to celebrate my mom. She's never really truly celebrated her birthday. Yes, we've had people come over, we eat dinner and give her a cake, but just a true birthday celebration. And so what I did was I reached out to some of her family and began secretly planning. Just because although it was supposed to just be our, immediate family, my immediate family, my sisters, my brothers, I just knew that I wanted her siblings to be a part of it because just like I had my siblings, she deserved to have hers. So I invited her two sisters, Marcia, Aunt Liata, as well as Uncle Tyree. Her cousin Carlene also came out, and one of her best friends, Terry, came out as well. And she just had some surprises all the way around. She had no idea. And the rule was I didn't want them to come on Thanksgiving. I wanted them to actually just show up to the party. And when I say she was surprised, y'all, she was completely surprised. She went from surprise to shock to tears. And it was all worth it. It was so meaningful. I did the 70 backdrop, obviously the food, the DJ. I even made her some custom sweatshirts. I called it Carla's merch store. Shout out to Kim who helped execute this with me. Thank you, Kim, for putting me in touch with the right people. But the sweatshirts were so cute. It had 2 pictures of her on the front, a baby picture in the middle, and then flowers on it because I felt like she deserved her flowers. And it was so incredible. And not only did everybody get a custom sweatshirt, but we wore it to the game on Saturday, which was her actual birthday. So my boys' game day was her actual birthday. And at halftime, even set up a surprise on the Jumbotron to wish her a happy birthday. It was just such a fun weekend of like spending time with family. I'm so blessed to still have my mother and my father and my siblings, my kids and my cousins and nieces and nephews and just friends all together. I will cherish this Thanksgiving forever. And I just really want people to understand the importance of creating these moments. It's just understanding family, and whatever family looks like for you, that's okay too. But just being thankful for the traditions, the time spent together, even the games. We had some fun playing them games, y'all. And after that, I just needed a nap because I'd been up early. I was on East Coast time and I was tired. But spending this time and traveling to Reno was so important and so incredible. And I'm so grateful for that time. And I hope my mom truly, truly enjoyed herself. I know she did. She told me, but it just felt so good. So I just wanted to tell my mother, happy birthday. I love you. And I hope you truly enjoyed this birthday. And now I'm going to move on to segment 2 called Make It Make Sense. And this is about Thanksgiving's unsurprising yet odd aspects that we all know, but we don't necessarily talk about. Whether it's like the different personalities or specific quote unquote roles that family members frequently play in the household. For instance, there's the food police. There's the person who always checks the timers and makes sure that things are pulled out on time. That would be me. There's the dishwasher, the person who comes in and washes all the dishes. That would be my brother. There's the silent watcher who just sits and watches everything but doesn't necessarily do much. That might be like, I would say, my dad this weekend. A few people just kind of, sitting around, not really doing much. But all the roles are necessary and we all talk about it. My mom, she did a really good job of making a delicious turkey. And her yams were delicious. We all kind of my mom and I kind of took our favorite dishes and created. So my mom did like the turkey. She did the yams. I did the greens. I did the fried chicken. I did the mac and cheese. So those are kind of like the staples. But so I would say my mom and I would be like the captain and the co-captain in the kitchen. But my question to you is this: why there's these certain dishes that people don't talk about? And my daughter actually got me thinking about this. She's like, Mom, a lot of people don't eat these things. Was it good back in the day, or like, why do people not eat them as much? And she was talking about cranberry sauce, gravy, and then it kind of took me down the rabbit hole of like green bean casserole, anything with raisins. We never made green bean casserole or anything with raisins in our family, but cranberry sauce and gravy were staples. Do y'all feel like it's kind of lost its way? Because I feel like it kind of has, like, nobody really asks to pass the gravy too often anymore. And then cranberry sauce is one of those things that people are like, no, I don't want that. What's even in it? I was watching this interview with Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers, who Kimberly Martin was interviewing him. And she was saying how much she loved cranberry sauce. And Bryce was like, yeah, no, cranberry sauce is disgusting. And that I don't know how people eat a plop in a can. And Kimberly Martin was like, what? Oh my gosh. And it's like this thing back and forth. And so I say to y'all tell me, do you feel like certain things that we used to have quite often have made their way out? Like, is cranberry sauce, are you a cranberry sauce fan? Do you like it? Gravy, are you like, ugh, gravy? No, thank you. I don't mind either one, but I know some people personally cannot stand either one of them, especially things that jiggle. But tell me, do you like cranberry sauce? Do you like gravy? I would love to know. And then another question I have is, why is it that it's women that typically gather in the kitchen to cook? And what contribution do men make? I remember, I was thinking about all of us women in the kitchen cooking. And then we got to the part where the turkey was ready. And my sister-in-law was like, isn't the man supposed to carve the turkey? And then I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, what actually do men traditionally every year contribute? I would love to know what other men do in their families, and maybe we can adopt some of that, because our men, they just be chilling, sitting around, and they might go get some chairs or grab something out the fridge if you ask them, out in the garage. But, because we do the cooking, the setup, maybe we should have them do the dishwashing. My brother's a good dishwasher. He is really good at that. My dad, he just sat around. Let's just be honest. But shout out to the men that break the mold and help do the cook in the kitchen, do the dishes, and just show effort. It does mean a lot. Okay, moving on to It's Debatable, where we talk about Thanksgiving foods and sales. All right, let's talk about food. We were talking about this in the family, like what is the most important aspect of Thanksgiving? Obviously, we put family first, so that's to the side. Is it the food? Is it the dessert? Is it the drinks? Is it the games? Or is it the sleeping? I think I would say food followed by a nap, because, gosh, the East Coast to the West Coast, it throws me off every single time. But food, because I love some leftovers even the day after. Yes, I'm the person that has Thanksgiving for 2 to 3 days. For sure. Don't talk about me crazy. I love Thanksgiving food. It is my jam. But what is it for you? Do you like the food, the dessert, the games, the drinks, or are you just like, I just need a nap? Let me know your thoughts there, because I know everyone's different and it's fun to kind of just see all the different personalities out there. But I also want to talk about the frenzy of Black Friday, because I just don't know if Black Friday is the same anymore. They started Black Friday even before Black Friday. They had all of these sales. A lot of people are boycotting Black Friday too, because they just feel like it just kind of helps with propaganda and, only helping the bigger corporations, which there's truth to that. And people are like, you guys should celebrate, Saturday because it's small businesses. And I agree with that as well. But do you feel like Black Friday has kind of lost their way as far as having all these sales before Black Friday, and then you get to Black Friday and there's not even any additional markdown. So you're like, what's the point? We know the marketing machine is running overtime and it puts pressure on everyone to do their part. But did y'all embark in Black Friday or did you not? I didn't. I'm going to be honest. The only Black Friday I had was celebrating my mom's 70th and we all wore black. So that's my Black Friday. But I would love to know what y'all think about Black Friday and how y'all think it should definitely change its way. But as we fast forward to segment 4, I want to talk about lessons learned around Thanksgiving. What did I learn? I learned there's always going to be twists and turns, that things are going to happen that you have no control over. But there's nothing better than spending time with family and sharing these moments. I also learned that you have to count your blessings when it comes to your family, your parents spending time with them. People think it's going to last forever, but anything can happen. So I'm just blessed to have my health. My family has their health and my parents have their health. That to me is so important. Another lesson learned, and this isn't necessarily for me, but it's for people that need to hear it, is don't come empty-handed to anyone's home. Don't do it. And people are like, oh, Atoya, how can you say that? You know what? It's all about the effort. I'm not asking you to make a whole dish. I'm not asking you to even bring a bottle, but make a card, bring a fun game and moderate the game. Do something, show effort. Don't just show up. Words mean nothing. I've learned that as I've gotten older. Words mean nothing to me. It's about the action and the effort. The effort is the gift. And when you show up to someone's house, it shows respect for the host, all the hard work that they've put in, not just on the day of, but the preparing, making sure you have everything that you need and everyone else needs. There's a lot that goes into making the day special. So don't show up to anyone's house empty-handed. Another lesson for me is with my boys, just the importance of showing up for them during the season. not just Thanksgiving, but just during the season. This was their last game. So I'm so blessed that the family was able to show up and support them. They haven't had the best year with this team. So I'm glad that we were able to just, spread some holiday cheer around Thanksgiving and make them feel special. And speaking of making people feel special, I just want to reflect on my mom's 70th and draw a parallel to how small moments really create like once in a lifetime experiences and lasting memories for people. So my mom thinking that we were going to do family pictures and telling everyone to wear black or gold, but everyone ended up wearing black and she had her gold dress. Like that was so dope. So like it was the coolest Black Friday ever for me. Just seeing the smile on her face and seeing how, just happy she was. That to me meant everything. So just really thinking about making the people that you love feel special is also important. And the biggest lesson of the year is we spend so much time focusing on one thing and putting our heads down and focusing on that one thing that we miss all the beauty in between. Cherish the little things in between, whether it's laughing and talking with a cousin or, hugging your mother or father, or just complimenting someone, asking someone how they're doing. The biggest lesson is true connection. Connect with the people around you, the ones that you care about and that you love. I not only was able to have my family there, but I had some of my friends, dearest and nearest friends, and it was such a blessing to hang out with them, to play games, to crack jokes. So as we go into 2026, I would say to you, how do you plan on spending your next Thanksgiving? And how can you make these last few days of 2025 count going on to 2026? What can you do differently? How can you stop just surviving and thrive? What boundaries can you set to make that happen? What can you delegate to others just to give yourself a little more time? What can you do for others? Are you a giver? Do you show up and help? Be intentional about the people that you are around and put your phone down and be present. And I would just say, take all the gratitude that you felt throughout this past week and turn it into action throughout your year, whether it's taking better care of yourself with your health, your family, business ventures. What can you do to make Thanksgiving truly special for 2026? But what can you do to make this last chapter in chapter 12 of 2025 special and take that momentum into 2026? I really just want you to think about that. Think about the things that really matter. There's all of these people saying different things of what you can do. It's about Black Friday. It's about this. It's really about intentional moments with the people you love, because all of those other things will not be at your funeral. They will not be there to pat you on the back or to tell other people how great you are. Your legacy is the connections that you make with other people, how you spend your time. And as you're going about your life, really leaning in to the people around you, complimenting them, paying attention, even just going outside and just really seeing how beautiful the world is, the birds, the leaves falling, just the sky, just the simple things. I just really implore you to take a moment and show gratitude for the little things, show gratitude for the people that you care about. And when you do that, I think everything else learns to fall into place. So not only wishing you an amazing rest of 2025, but also going into 2026, I hope that you make plans to change some things that need to be changed, and also give yourself a pat on the back for things that you're doing well and that you want to continue on. That matters too. Thank you. My gratitude goes out to you as a listener, and I want to thank you for listening to the podcast, for leaning into the amazing guests that I've had on throughout the season so far. I've had some dope women on, and I just thank you all for listening. for cheering them on, for cheering on this podcast. And don't forget to make sure you go to social media and put in the comments who you are, what your role is in the family. If you're team jiggly cranberry sauce or homemade sauce, or you don't want any, cranberry sauce at all. If you love gravy, all of those things really do matter. So taking the time to just be intentional about leaving a comment really does matter. And I just thank you for that ahead of time. I'm wishing you the best holiday season ever. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart that Inside Lines would not be what it is without you. So thank you for that. And I appreciate you. And I wish you an amazing rest of 2025 going on into 2026. Okay, this wraps up another exciting episode of Inside Lines podcast. I hope you enjoyed my recap. I'm your host, Atoya Burleson. Thank you for joining me in celebrating powerful women in and around sports. Don't forget that your support really does help us to amplify women's voices. So please remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Inside Lines Podcast, or check us out on the web, www.insidelinespodcast.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's conversation. Until next time, keep the conversation going. Keep celebrating women. And here's to breaking barriers, building community, and being a voice in a world that needs you. Thanks for listening.